my name is Melissa van Dijk. Now, can you use the ordinary AHA BHA peeling solution on acne or breakout prone skin? And generally speaking, yes. However, it all depends on the stage of your acne or your individual pimples, if you just have a few. And I want to use myself as an example because it's now the perfect moment to demonstrate. So you can use the peeling solution on active acne or just active pimples if you have some here and there, if they are still closed. That's completely fine. You can also use the peeling solution if you have dark spots from your acne. Now, when it comes to freshly popped pimples or acne in general, then it primarily depends on if you tolerate it or not. Like, generally speaking, not much is going to happen in the sense of it's not going to make the situation worse. The only thing that really can happen is that the stinging or even burning to some extent, because like you just popped it, is going to be quite intense. So I cannot tolerate it, therefore I'm not doing it. However, if that's fine for you, go ahead and do it. But there's one stage of your acne where I wouldn't recommend using it, and this is the stage that I'm currently in. So I have 3 spots right here, and those are like freshly popped pimples. I do have to admit I scratched on them as well. This is why it makes it look worse, but they are a few days old. They have already like a light crust on it, so they are already in the healing process, but they are still sensitive. They are still slightly irritated. So if you're in that specific stage, doesn't matter if you have this on a larger area or just like on a specific spot, I recommend avoid applying the peeling solution on such an area, because it's going to make the spot look redder and it feels a bit more like aggressive on the skin. Like, once you have removed the peeling solution, you can see that your skin on those specific spots is not going to be happy. I've experienced it myself. Before that, my skin wasn't as red. Then I've applied it on such areas and it turned out it's going to look much redder. The skin looks like it's extremely angry at me that I have applied the peeling solution on such spots. So I do want to emphasize this as well, that it primarily depends on the stage that you're in. Now, this can be individual spots, this may be a larger area. You should get the idea when you should not use the peeling solution. And when working with the peeling solution, it primarily depends on how much acne or pimples you have in general. So if you're in a situation as I'm currently in, where you just have, like, for example, a few spots, like individual spots, you can still use the peeling solution on your face, maybe your neck as well, but you're going to avoid applying it on those spots. Or if you have acne prone skin, you're currently in such a stage on a larger area, let's say your forehead is currently affected with that stage, well, then avoid your forehead, but you still can use it on the rest of your face and maybe your neck as well. So you should get the idea. You can still use it, just do not use the peeling solution on top of it, and that's basically what I want to point out. Now, I want to share with you an application as well, so that you can see how you can use it, how you can apply it, what's important to do in between. So I have a little example routine right here, starting off with the cleansing step, moving on to the peeling solution, then I'm going to finish it off with the ordinary natural moisturizing factors. So generally speaking, after the peeling solution, my recommendation would be following with hydration afterwards, still avoiding too heavy, occlusive or like fatty substances of moisturizers, because you do not want to make the situation worse. You just want to lightly hydrate the skin afterwards, because to some extent the peeling solution may feel a bit drying on the skin once you have rinsed it off. So you want to make sure to balance it out. Now, nonetheless, I want to quickly emphasize that when it comes to the peeling solution, use it no more than twice per week. So you can use it once or twice per week or less often, making sure that you always have a break of 3 to 4 days in between before using it again. And it should be used ideally in your evening skincare routine. So therefore I have prepared this little evening skincare routine as well. Now I want to get started with now the first step, which is going to be washing the face. So make sure that when picking your cleanser that you're working with a non-exfoliating acid cleanser, because you're already working with the peeling solution. So one great example would be Cetaphil's Daily Facial Cleanser. That's the one I'm using. If you have a different one, please exchange it and read on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser. Right here it is advised to apply it to wet skin. So make sure that you're starting off with freshly washed and clean hands, and then start off with washing your face. When working with water, always use lukewarm water to warm water so it feels comfortable on the skin. So let's go ahead and do this. Then use about 1 to 2 pumps so that you have enough to blend it or massage it all over your face and neck. Rub it between your hands and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. So, and now go ahead and rinse it off with water. Now when doing this above the sink, you can rinse most of it off by using your hands, but then I also recommend using a soft and fresh washcloth, those makeup cloths, microfiber cloths in between. Wet them, squeeze them out, and then use it to gently swipe across your face to make sure that everything of your cleanser comes off the skin. So now take your washcloth to remove the excess of your cleanser, which usually gets stuck like along the hairline or around the eyes. Now when working with a washcloth, make sure that you're always using a fresh one and a clean one. So make sure that if you're working with a washcloth, you have multiple ones so that you always can grab a new one. So now rinse again. And now go ahead and take a clean and fresh towel to gently remove the excess water from the skin's surface by patting all over. So, and now that you have a freshly washed and clean face, now it is important to let your skin dry. So wait 5 to 10 minutes before moving on to the peeling solution. Otherwise, if you're going to apply it immediately after your cleansing step, this can really lead to stinging or even to some extent burning on the skin because it's just too intense. So make sure to wait for your skin to dry. So once you have waited those 5 to 10 minutes and your skin now feels dry, you can move on to the application of the peeling solution. Now when doing the application, you can apply it with your fingers or with a brush, whatever is your preference, whatever you usually do to apply your mask. However, when working with a brush, please make sure that it's always a clean brush, especially since you have acne-prone skin, you do not want to make it worse. Now in this example, I'm going to use my fingers for it for the application, which again are clean, so there's not an issue. And remember, you can use the peeling solution on active pimples, on active acne, and you can use it on dark spots. I wouldn't recommend using it on freshly popped pimples, nor if the pimples are a few days old, as I have myself, where there's just a light crust on it. Because again, if you would use it on top of such like a stage of your pimples, this can really make the situation worse. And so we are trying to avoid this. So when it comes to the peeling solution, make sure that you apply an even and thin layer on that specific area, or maybe over your face and neck, and just leave out those individual spots. And this is now what I'm going to do. So make sure that you have enough product in the palm of your hand so that you can cover that area that you want to. And then use your brush or fingertips and start off with the application. Now, when first applying the peeling solution to the skin, you can feel a slightly tingling sensation or a bit of stinging, which in my experience should go away within a few seconds, maybe half a minute. And then after that, I do not feel anything at all. So this is what you need to overcome. However, some people do not experience any sensation at all, and if you do not experience anything at all, then your skin is way more resistant than mine. And that's a good sign, so enjoy that you can use it without any sensation. And then make sure that you can evenly and thinly apply it. Now you may notice that while doing the application that the peeling solution starts to foam or even starts to turn pink, like a lighter color than red. And that's normal because you're blending it over your face, you're like pushing a little bit of air in it as well as blending it, and therefore you can see the color change and even see a little bit of foam. So don't worry, don't panic, that's just normal. When doing the application of the peeling solution, make sure to avoid your eye area as I'm about to do. So do not use it on top of your eyelids, do not use it on the eye contour. And when using it around your mouth, please do not use it too close to your actual lips, nor use it on top of your lips. And as you can see, I'm just going to work my way around those spots. Now I'm not really going to apply anything on my nose because of that spot right here. But this is how I would apply it. If you should have sensitivity along the nose, this part right here, leave out that area too. So now if you like to go down towards your neck, that's fine as well. This is very individual. I'm now going to keep my main focus on my face as well as those spots so that you can see how you can then use the peeling solution. And once you have blended it evenly and thinly all over, you're going to leave it on the skin for no more than 10 minutes. After that, we're going to wash it off. Now, once the time is up, you can go ahead and rinse off the mask, and you're going to rinse it off with just water. There's no cleanser needed. The mask comes off by just using water, and you can rinse it off above the sink or in the shower. Now, if you're hopping into the shower anyway, you can just rinse it properly off, and then there you go. There isn't any concern. However, when rinsing it off above the sink, my suggestion would be to make sure that you are going to avoid getting it into your eyes, into your mouth, as well as avoiding those areas, is using a washcloth. So again, as I already mentioned earlier with the cleansing step, it's such a great tool to use in between to properly wash your face. So I have right here again a fresh and clean washcloth. And I want to specifically emphasize this. So this was the previous one I've used to wash my face. Now I'm going to use a new one because I want to make sure that I keep everything clean, especially if I have already acne-prone skin. You want to make sure that you keep everything clean and, proper to care about your hygiene so that you're not making the situation worse. And the washcloth is not only ideal if you have acne-prone skin, but it's ideal to help you to remove the mask when doing this above the sink, because what I'm now going to do is I'm going to use the new and clean washcloth. I'm going to wet it with lukewarm water to warm water, then I'm going to squeeze it out, and then I'm going to use it to gently swipe across my face to take off the mask, as well as avoid getting the mask in my eyes as well as in my mouth, and avoiding that part right here, so that I can go along those areas that I'm making sure that I'm not going to irritate the skin or any specific sensitive areas. So using a washcloth in between is extremely helpful. So go ahead, take your washcloth and gently swipe across your face to properly take it off. So as you can see, it's so easy to remove it when using a washcloth, and I was able to avoid those areas to make sure that I'm not going to irritate the skin. And once you're done with the washcloth, of course, go ahead and then throw it away in the washing machine so that you can immediately clean it. You do not want to reuse that washcloth where you have just removed the mask with it. And now I'm going to, whatever is left on the skin, I'm going to properly rinse it off by splashing some water onto the skin. And if you do notice a bit of a stain, that it turns slightly pinkish on certain areas, don't worry, this can be due to the peeling solution as it contains berries. And that specific color, if you eat berries and you get something on your shirt, you know that it can stain, that it isn't easy to wash out. So this can happen, but this should go away once you are going to wash your face again. So, and once you have properly rinsed it off, you now can go ahead and again take a clean towel and gently paddle over to remove the excess water from the skin surface. So now once you're done with the mask, you can stop right here and leave it as it is. However, my suggestion would be following with something hydrating afterwards to make sure that you can balance it from the strong exfoliating acid mask of something gentle afterwards. So this can be with a hydrating toner, maybe serum or moisturizer. But again, when working with a moisturizer, since you have already acne prone skin, you want to make sure that if you're working with a moisturizer, that it is either a gel or something very lightweight, or go with a moisturizer as The Ordinary offers as well, that contains natural moisturizing factors, so that you're not going to make your situation worse, but just keeps it well hydrated and protected. And so I'm now going to follow with The Ordinary moisturizer. So with this one, use about a pea size to a bean size amount and then apply it evenly and thinly all over. So about that much, more or less. This can be slightly adjusted. I just want to have a thin and even layer that I can like blend all over my face. And you can use your hydrating product that you want to use then after the mask all over your face as well as neck. Now, once you have applied your hydrating product to the skin, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And then there you have it when working with the peeling solution on how you can use it as well as with what you can follow. Now, if you want to get a copy of my example evening skincare routine as well as have an idea of what the morning routine can look like and what to avoid with the peeling solution, you will find all that information in my PowerPoint, which you can find in the description box down below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. And if you want to support this channel, as I'm an independent YouTuber, I'm not affiliated with any skincare companies. I buy the products with my money and I set up my PowerPoints in my own way, in my own time. And you want to support that, you can go ahead and leave a tip by leaving or by clicking on the super thanks button below this video, or even check out the description box. There you will find the PayPal link. And I would highly appreciate it. Thank you so much already in advance. Now, if you want to learn more about skincare in general, I have several videos on my channel and I'm going to leave some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.